regarde le SKB TV, agent de le mouvement. Hasta la vista!
Keep watching SKB Records. They will provide you with news, updates, events, many things.
TV, he's been supporting musicians, He has this amazing program, Behind the Scenes with SKB. Man, he's supporting all of us. All over the world. Keep watching this dude, man. God bless you.
Keep watching SK Beats, where you get all the gist about musicians in Ghana.
Hello everyone, my name is Effie Grace. Keep watching SK Beats Records. Mwah. Catch it. Catch the case.
I was not really expecting this, but it just came unknowingly. I've already given up before, but my God in heaven just stepped me out.
Let's get it on the mic, yeah.
When you came on the show the last time, was that it was not thought that somebody could be unashamedly Christian and unashamedly gospel and still win awards that are at the level at which was deemed to be predominantly for people in the secular space, and that was quite a big conversation at the time you won the award. But moving on, we've seen others like Dan Hamilton come win it, and now it's no longer a mystery. But I'm interested in the key to your consistency over the years. We see people come and win once and then after that get lost. But you stayed at the forefront winning year after year. If somebody genuinely asked you, Joe, what is the secret? And I'll tell you what, for me as a friend and a brother, what got me was seeing the montage of the people expected at the awards, and your picture was in front, in the middle. I said, that's my man. I loved where your picture was put for personal reasons. But what is the secret of your consistency over the years?
I would say it's just my connection to the source.
Help me understand that.
My connection to the source of what I do. I believe that, first of all, I did not call myself, I was called by God. And so the moment I disconnect from the one that called me, I'm done. And I've told this a million times that the only way I can be doing what I'm doing and doing it the length of time I've gotten the opportunity to do it and the way it's been done is just my connection to my source, which is Christ. And so he called me and he gives me instructions as to what to do and what not to do.
Help me to understand this thing about instruction. For somebody listening, hey, God gives you instructions? What kind of instruction? Is it about the music you must play? Is it about how to present yourself? Is it about your style? Is it about your rehearsals? What exactly does the Lord give you instructions about?
It's mainly about the word he wants to speak through you. Because everything we do on earth, especially when we are called by God, is the kingdom's agenda on earth. Basically, that's what it is. So every season, God has a word that he puts in your mouth, he puts in your heart. And sometimes, if you are fortunate enough, you get a glimpse of the melody of heaven that attaches itself to the message that God wants to speak through the music that he wants to release through you. So you'd realize that each season comes with a different message. It comes with a different melody. But then each time it's still relevant to the season for which God releases it. There are times God can even give you a song and say, hold on with it. Meditate upon it for a while before you release it. And so sometimes...
Is there any song of yours
yes.
Yoboami. You're serious?
Yes, I received Yoboami probably like 3 or 4 years ago.
So let me kick back. I love these things because that's why we call it the engine room. So what you're saying is that before Bononi, Yoboami was there?
Yoboami was there.
So you get a song, you feel and believe it will be a hit.
Yes.
But the source of your instruction, if I'm
will tell you
words, tells you this is a song, but not for today.
Not for today.
So
breathe over it a little
every year
bit.
you're looking for a song and you say, this one is they don't touch it.
You know, and I mean, sometimes there's been times where some of my people have been previewed to some of these songs. So they will keep coming back to you and say, when are we, that song, we need to release that song. And I said, I don't think it's time for us to release it yet. And until it's ready or until it's time for us to release it, we will release it. And whenever we release it at the time that we have the release in our spirits that God wants us to now let it go, it always makes the impact that God wants to make.
I'm taking what you're saying very, very, very seriously because, when I don't want to mention names out of respect, but I've seen people come on the scene with a lot of force, and not just in Ghana, Nigeria. I track a bit about music, and I always say this. One of the mentors, Danny Neti, he did the
theme song. I remember, yeah.
And I used to walk with Danny. I mean, when we really had to talk, we could walk, choose not to drive, and walk through Accra, arguing about music. And I was very curious, and I wanted to understand the dynamics. And one of the things that we really used to talk about a lot was why some songs become big hits and why some songs do not become big hits. And we would literally spend hours debating, intelligent debate, and sometimes even argue. And I remember the time when this song, there was a song by a Nigerian artist, Princess Ifuema. The song had just 4 words or so. Defendable God.
It was but it became
was a global hit.
Yeah.
And I was telling him that, what trust song? You have descants, you have melody, you have harmony, you have chorus, you have this, and then somebody will just come and release one song with 2 lines, and people will buy it all over the world. Danny, what is this? So I'm very curious about the music. So what you are saying is, it takes more than just having the song. And you are saying that your source God could literally tell you, don't play this.
Don't play this. It's that one is
wait
for
the right time, it becomes a hit.
It does. But then there are times too, there are songs that you expect to be hits, but they're not hits.
Why?
Because sometimes it's not meant for the masses.
Oh, help me understand that one too.
It's a specific message for certain people. I've been to places where you receive certain testimonies about some songs you have, and I'm like, even I don't really listen to that song often. But the testimonies that you receive out of those particular songs, and the person will tell you that song was for me. I felt like God spoke to me directly. And those ones too are there. So there are songs that sometimes God will give you and they're huge. There are songs that will come out and they are for specific people. Just specific people, and they will be on the album, and you'll be surprised that the big songs on the album, those people never get to listen to those ones, but they listen to those ones that were specifically, God given to them.
I'll tell you a story.
Excuse me, I said barren woman. Will you shut up your mouth? Get out of my house. I've had enough of you. Get out! It's been 3 years I got married to this lady. For God knows how. I've done my best. You've done your best, and I ain't good.
I hate that Samson.
I'm even surprised. She just had a minor injury. I think she needs some rest.
Do it for me, God. Do it. Jesus!
Testimony that one of my recent interviewees gave me. We interviewed Dr. Abena Asumeni. She's done some incredible work with prisoners. And she says she wrote a book. I thought the title was very brilliant. And it also is a very powerful message. The book is called The Side We Choose to See. And she spoke on the show briefly about it, but in the intermission, she said to me, the book was not as big a hit as she would have liked. And she was surprised because it was telling a beautiful story about how a prisoner, when you ask them their story and they tell you, you would almost understand why they went to prison, because they have a story. And she gave an example about somebody who was so hungry in northern Ghana that he went to steal a goat. He was caught and brought to prison. And he's very happy to be in prison because he's guaranteed 3 meals, no matter how bad. And I'm like, wow, that's a very strange story.
Yeah.
And she says she told the story from the prisoner's side
perspective,
and not from our perspective that says crucify them.
Yeah.
And she says, people didn't really buy it. And on Amazon, she showed just a few, but she says, 10 years after she wrote the book, the vice president of a country in the sub-region is reading the book. And it's like, I can't sleep.
Wow.
And calls her and says, based on what you have written, let's put in place a new program for releasing prisoners, doing this, doing that. Fly to our country, let's sit down and look
Programs
at how your book can change the whole country's justice system. 10 years after.
Because, I mean, some people that get in prison can actually just be fined.
We talked about non-custodial sentence, but so we don't digress.
Yeah.
My lesson from this, what you are saying, is that you can release a song that can be a big hit for the market, but you can release a song also that's a specific message to a specific person.
Yeah.
For you, as an artist, whether we like it or not, you are a minister, but you also have a family and you have mouths to feed. So when that song does not become a commercial hit, but it becomes a ministerial hit to specific people, what does that do for you?
For what most people don't realize is it's actually even more a blessing than when it's
help me understand the blessing. Okay. I want to know.
So and these are some of the things for me that I didn't put my focus on. My focus has always been when I'm releasing an album, what does God intend to do with this particular project? Because every project I realize that there's a message that God is trying to pass on. There's something God intends to do. Sometimes you release an album, okay, you make some streams. Lately, it's no more CDs and things. It will bring you some money, like you're saying, family and everything. But what I realized was when you trust God to do what He intends to do with the album, like the things I'm saying, one person's blessing can actually change your life. One person who says, because one time like that, the person, it was like, you know what, there's a particular song on the album that blessed me so much and it delivered me out of, he said, I would not be standing here if not for the message in that song. And then we're talking, and then out of that conversation, something came up. It was like something I needed. And then the message said, oh no, that's easy, like that's what I do. Well, how many do you want? I said, oh, I'm not ready. He said, don't worry about it. It's not about how much you have or how many. I said, how many do you want? And I was like, I said, you are worrying yourself. He said, for what? He said, I will not be standing here if not for your obedience to follow what God asked you to do. And so this is what I can also do to be a blessing to your life.
My goodness.
I didn't have the resources to do it. And I needed, if I was to use the resources from the work we do, I would need a lot of it to be able to do what the person needed. But out of that one song that I'm talking about, the person did it at no cost.
What you are telling is a very beautiful story.
So I realized that, you know what, take care of what God wants to be taken care of. I've never sat down to say, okay, I'm calculating if I make this number of streams or this number of sales, this is what is going to come to me. I have never done that. But I've always said to God, what do you want me to do? It's like the Bible says, seeking the kingdom and its righteousness. And I know that if I have sought the kingdom and its righteousness and I've done what God intends to be done on earth, the rest that I also need, He will take care of it. It's not too difficult for Him.
This is Springboard, your virtual university, and my guest for today in this very, very different conversation. We are going back to the roots.
Hello everybody, once again you are watching S to the K to the B-A-T-Z. My name is Samson, but you can call me SK Beat Records, and this is what I do best, to bring you the behind the scenes and exclusive interviews of musicians at gospel events.